We have a potions episode for you. Brought to you
Potions.
mostly by Kayla Chessman because I don't know anything. No, it's probably not going to save you from
Yes.
a slovenly garbage eating lifestyle. But welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you? Happy fall to my allergenic folks out there who are sniffling and sneezing.
Been congested. You and I talked about this the other day. I thought that my cheap knockoff AirPods that I use on my work phone, I thought that they were sizzling my brain because I couldn't hear very well, or I felt like my ears were plugged, and then turns out my ears are plugged from mucus and boogers.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time, but we'll just say that it's the allergies.
Well, if Apple would figure out a way for me to use corded headphones in a phone without it being a crackle bot, I would happily do it, but they haven't done that yet.
Valid.
Or at least I can't have nice
I know.
over-ear headphones for my work thing. Actually, it's not even the headphones. It's that little piece of shit that you plug in as an adapter from your jack into the headphones that keeps getting fucked. Anyway, let's focus on what we're talking about. We are in the midst of the peak witchy season, the day of All Hallows Eve is almost upon us, or Samhain, as we've learned. And in keeping with this theme, we have a potions episode for you. Brought to you mostly by Kayla Chessman, because I don't know anything.
Yes, potions and motions. No, I'm kidding. A lot of this information will be brought to you by our tip of the week recommendation at the end. I'll keep it to myself for now so that you stick with us. Please don't fast forward to the end. But she's amazing, and I love. Okay, so when you say potions, I feel like that could mean a lot of things. There's like, what do they call them? Why do I want to keep saying herbal essence? It's not that. It's essential oils. Herbal essence is not a sponsor. I don't approve of their shampoo. Anyway, but okay. What I'm focusing on today is herbs in potions, as in tinctures or sprays. You could even smear this out into tea, but really I'm just talking about the tinctures. So, fun fact. Herbal medicine. Do you know when it was first started?
In 25 BC.
Oh, well, I mean, that I don't know if that's super far off, but it kind of sounded close. 2800 BC. So like
I should have added the 100.
I know. I thought you were
I
going
almost
to.
said 1600.
Ah, damn. Okay. So 2800 BC was the first written record of herbal medicine being used in China. I'm pretty sure it was used before this, but that was the first written record of it. And that's like using plants and herbs and even things that we consider weeds, like dandelions, for example. You and me both drink dandelion tea. It has a lot of benefits. But if you're just looking at it in your yard, you're like, this fucking weed, get rid of it, type of thing. But there's just so many uses for plants and herbs in medicine. The funny thing is, though, we've talked about this in previous episodes where we've touched on the big P pharma. I don't know.
Okay, I feel like YouTube's already buried us, so we can just keep doing it.
Hey, turkeys, real quick, we want to tell you about our fun new free craft corner. Every quarter, in line with the equinox or solstice, we are going to send out new farts and crafts projects. You can find the link in the show notes. Just drop us your email. We promise not to spam you, but we'd love for you to join us. Now back to the show.
Well, I was just going to say,
Digging the hole.
I know, just keep digging it in. Someone will find us. When that became more of a mainstream thing and there was more money put into it, it was unfortunate that herbal medicine and other natural modalities like chiropractor and Ayurvedic medicine and all these things are considered quackery now or not super legit, which is really sad. So I love a good tincture. I've brought some out for you. Well, if you are watching it and you can read the brand, then it's spoiled. But if you're listening to it, this is called Mood Juice. Now, is this subconscious? What's the word? You know when you think.
Suppository. Okay. It's not a butt dropper.
You know when you think it's working, but it's not. It's just your
Placebo effect.
Thank you. This could all be in my head, but I do feel like it makes a difference. These are droppers. You know what? Is this illegal? I'll take it on screen. This is mood juice. It's just a tincture, and you squeeze it. I'm gonna sneeze. If you heard that quack, 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 that was the tincture squeezing it.
Can we define the word tincture? Because I really like the word, but I don't think I know what it means fully.
A tincture is literally just... I told you I was gonna sneeze. I'm really struggling. Okay. A tincture is just a bottle full of liquid where you pick the liquid up in a tincture. We use these in like science class. You know, it's like a tincture.
Isn't that a dropper? I'm gonna do a Google.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh shit, Google me. Fact check me.
So it's the new Google AI feature says that tinctures are concentrated herbal extracts made by soaking plant materials such as leaves, flowers, seeds, or roots in alcohol or vinegar. I wonder what the base is of that.
So it's funny because you can have an alcoholic base. I believe she uses vegetable glycerin and deionized water as the base, which makes it a little bit less pungent, or it's a little easier to intake.
Glycerin is a sugar alcohol used in food, soaps, medicines, and skin products.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay, well, that's all tracking with the information. Why did I think it was a fat?
I don't know. It sounds like it would be a fat.
Glycerin versus glycerol. Sorry, guys, we're all learning together. They're the same. Okay, well, fuck me. I don't know anything.
So, anyway, for example, this mood juice. I mean, do I feel better already? Yeah. But again, placebo. But here we go. I'll give you some stats. In this mood juice, there's fresh St. John's wort flower, which I'll get to in a second.
Okay, I know this as that's an old school herb. I'm going to say herb for the remainder of this episode.
I like it. You should.
I'm just going to have to hang with it.
You should. Holy basil leaf, fresh lemon balm, fresh skullcap, kava root, motherwort herb. So.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, please.
We've got to do another. We're not medical professionals. Talk to a professional before making any changes to your diet and or health habits. This came into my head also because I'm almost 100% certain that St. John's wort can interfere with some mental health meds because they say not to take it if you're on them.
These are why you talk to your doctor before you do anything. Yes, ma'am.
I also sort of feel like it shows you that it does something.
Yeah.
Which like if it did nothing, would it interfere? Mm-hmm. Probably not. Okay,
so,
anyway.
I pulled up St. John's wort, aka Hypericum perforatum. Well, okay. Okay, it's an adaptogen, a nervine, and a troporestorative. Okay, I'm going to skip to the part where it sounds like I know what I'm saying. So, it's an adaptogen and basically a tonic to the nervous system. St. John's wort has been studied for its positive therapeutic potential in terms of mood, brain, and nervous system support, which makes sense if it's affecting brain support. It could be affecting mental, other mental medicines.
I think they were saying if you're taking, I think they're saying if you take an SSRI, so a serotonin uptake inhibitor, which is your typical Prozac, your normal antidepressant med. Anyway, they're just saying it can change the way that affects you. So when you're onboarding it for that first 30 days and then trying to figure out how you're feeling. Anyway, I just think it's interesting that this obviously has some kind of an effect on your brain and your mood. And I said, I've known about this. I've heard about this for a long time. It is definitely one of the old school mood.
The other one people I feel like are all about these days is ashwagandha.
Yes, I just bought an ashwagandha tea. I was trying to find kava, but I couldn't. And that's another one that's grown in popularity.
Okay, so if you believe that tea can be beneficial, which I believe is not super crazy to believe, You're basically taking that but putting it into a different intake method. So instead of drinking a tea, she's already done it and I can just pop this in my mouth because I don't like tea. Now, you don't have to take it straight like I do. I do think this is more concentrated.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'd have to drink like 500 cups of tea.
Yeah.
To end up with the concentrated levels that would be in something like that.
Yeah, you're getting more immediate effects with something like this. Like, I'm boosting my mood. I love that one. The other one that I love is brain juice. You know how Joe Rogie, he's got his alpha brain stuff. It's what are they called? Shit, I'll look it up. But anyway, it's the same kind of situation where you're using different supplements, or in this case herbs, to nootropic. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. That's another word that's in the world.
It's another word. But alpha brain boosts cognitive function, memory, attention, and focus with a blend of vitamins, amino acids, and herbal extracts. Okay, similarly, this is just a little less, this is more on the herbal side. But brain juice has ginkgo leaf, Gutu Kola herb. Oh my god, Kayla. Rosemary, red Chinese ginseng root. So anyway, I really do feel a difference. Just like Kenny feels a difference when he takes Alpha Brain in the morning, I feel a difference when I pop a couple squeezes of brain juice. So it's just very interesting that you can get certain effects and benefits if you are safe to take them from concentrated herbal tinctures.
Don't take brain juice if you're allergic to the ingredients of brain juice.
I just feel like there's so much benefits to herbs and plants and what we could consider weeds that people just don't think about. It's like, oh, well, I've got digestive problems, so I'm going to take a something. Or you could just pop a couple pumps of digestive juice if you're safe to do so. There's things that if you can and you're relatively healthy, these things could benefit you and you don't have to always go get a prescription of stuff. Or you could have a prescription and you can just have these for fun. Yeah, because I'm not your doctor.
I think our country has done a real poopy job about squashing all of the potential preventatives. Mm-hmm. Vitamins, supplements, herbs. What's the word? Oh no. Magnesium, potassium. Mm-hmm. What are those?
Supplements? Minerals? Vitamins?
Yes, minerals. Thank you. Just, we don't get a lot of the minerals that we need and the vitamins that we need. And it's hard to eat enough of a food to get them in the concentrated amounts that are beneficial. Same with the herbs. Yeah. And it seems as though it is ignorant and a little bit arrogant to brush off thousands and thousands of years of medicinal knowledge and things that have been handed down across different cultures. Some of it, I think, is just Americans being sort of American. We know everything and kind of getting hyper-focused maybe on our Western points of view. I think a lot of this stuff is still practiced in other parts of the world a lot more commonly, especially in places where they try to do more holistic medicine or more preventative care. Yes. I was watching 90 Day Fiancé because I don't have any control. But the girl was from Indonesia and she was just talking about going back there because she was having some health issues and she wanted to get back to some of the more, I don't know, the medications or the treatments and the preventatives that she was used to growing up.
That's interesting.
I think Chinese medicine has become more of a thing recently. I know you can get trained in it. Mm-hmm. Because obviously you don't want to be willy-nilly crunching up leaves in your yard and consuming them. But I do think I think it's worth a gander. And as we've talked about being so skeptical about the old big pee-pee, I guess my thing is like, how is it going to hurt? And even if it's all made up in your head and it's placebo effect, the placebo effect creates genuine outcomes.
Yes.
So who cares? You know what I mean?
Yes. The only thing I would say is, I 100% agree. It's okay. So supplements and vitamins, it sucks now because we do live in America, which is great because capitalism, and people want to create their own things or sell their own things. The problem is there's hardly any regulations on, at least I know, vitamins and supplements for sure. Like, oh my God, be careful when you're buying those things. So now I don't know how this translates to herbal tinctures. So you have to make sure you find a brand that you trust and is reputable, because just like vitamins and just like supplements, you don't want to be willy-nilly popping things, because A, they're either filled with fillers and they're not going to work, or B, it could actually be harmful. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's my other caveat. But I love these so much. And it's nice to have just something else in your health toolbox that's not it's from the world. In my head, it feels better.
Well, just the whole deal of taking care of just trying to look at a whole person health perspective and saying, can you dribble some herbs in your mouth and then eat a cheeseburger and sit on the couch all day? You probably, no, it's probably not going to save you from
Yes.
a slovenly garbage eating lifestyle. But in conjunction with other healthy habits, I mean, I don't know, I think it makes sense. And I just keep going back to the whole thing of I don't know everything. I don't think all of us know everything. And sometimes it feels culturally that we can be dismissive of ancient or ancestral knowledge, which I think then kind of leads us to missing out on some stuff. And the other thing that I will say is my constant drum that I beat, that it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Correct.
So you can take a tincture that's supposed to help with allergies and you can take a Claritin. I mean, no one's saying you're not allowed to participate in like Eastern and Western medicine or old and new traditions. And no one's saying that you have to not go to the doctor when you have an ear infection and you have to dribble dribbles in your ear. Maybe you do a supplement or an herb to try to help prevent the problems associated with ear infections. Maybe you do different things to keep yourself more healthy, and then when a situation arises that you need to go see somebody in the urgent care, I mean, you can do that too. Yes. I think that's what gets lost, is we just think about the extreme ends of things and we forget that you can straddle the fence and ride the line and you can try it all.
Exactly. It would be.
I think we should just jump the gun on the tip and just tell people, but do you have her info or bio, or how did you find her? How did you come upon this? Blah, 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 blue.
Well, when I went through my mysterious health situation, I went down a deep hole in Instagram, and then I believe I started listening to a podcast. Now, which podcast was that? I can't remember. But regardless, I found her, I believe, on Instagram first. Her name is, her actual name is Olivia, and her last name is beautiful, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Her brand is Organic Olivia. So she has Instagram with a wealth of knowledge. She's got a website, which is organicolivia.com, with a wealth of knowledge. Blog posts, literally a description and information on every single herb she uses. There is also her podcast, which is super fun and helpful if you're into learning about this stuff. And it's called What's the Juice? And it's so fun. Honestly, the more you read about it and like learn more, it's crazy how much it makes sense. I don't know. Until you don't know what you don't know. And once I started learning about this, I'm like, oh, this totally makes sense. Like there's a place and time for these things.
I'm just trying to see if it talks about her. Do you know her background of education or blah?
She is a clinical herbalist, and she went to school for, I believe, is called Ayurvedic medicine with and Chinese medicine. So she is like licensed, went to school for this.
I think that's my thing. Is we're not just talking about a little bippity boop on Instagram who put lavender on her titties and got a big following. Like, there's a lot of hype and confusion and smoke and mirrors and snake oil on social media. But there's also a lot of information, and it's unregulated. But you can find good things. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to give her a shout out and round her out as a person and give credit to the fact that this is something that she has studied and worked on and cultivated and continues to learn about. So this is not just, somebody saying bippity boppity boo, you should buy my shit.
Mm-hmm. So I just read her bio. It's on her website, but she went pre-med route and then, interesting enough, got also some mysterious health issues. And so she kind of switched over to traditional Chinese medicine. And that's how she got into herbalism.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
They had somebody come in and talk to my social work class back when I was doing either my bachelor's or my master's program, but her name was Bonnie, and I wish I had her business information because I don't know if she's still practicing, but she was an RN for a really long time, and she was older at this point. Anyhow, she had kind of worked in the career field long enough to see medicine go from more preventative and spending more time with people to now how it sort of necessitates this fast factory approach and sort of milling through people quickly. And she sort of got disenfranchised toward the end of her career and decided that she wanted to go back and do something different. So I think it's kind of interesting when you have people who also have a more traditional medical background and then say, hey, there's some pieces missing to this that I want to look into. And she went and got her doctorate in Chinese medicine and does the pokey.
Acupuncture.
Yeah, so she does acupuncture, and she might also do the energy one.
Reiki?
Thank you, God. You're really killing it on the catchphrase line right now.
Do you want what is it called? Well, now I'm making a fool of myself because I forgot. A craniosacral massage? Do you want a lymphatic massage? Do you want a chiropractor? Do you want acupuncture? There's so many things. I love it.
And Jason was literally just watching somebody the other day who is, I want to say he was in a congressional hearing, but the guy was basically yelling at all of our congressional members saying that they don't really care about health because if they did, they would have access to these things. That's what's really frustrating to me is so much of this is financially limited. So if you're receiving Medicaid or a government, like an indigent healthcare program, there's 0% chance they're going to reimburse for chiropractic care or any of those things, which I find highly aggravating.
And do you know why? Well, because if you go to do these things and they fix you, then you can stop going and spending money at the hospital or the pharmacy.
But the thing that's so annoying, I know, but the thing that's so annoying is it would behoove our government for people to be healthier because I think one of the biggest expenses is healthcare for our government. Because you have a lot of people that have government-based insurances, even Medicare, who use the shit out of our hospital systems. And what is it, like thousands of dollars a day to be in an ICU? Anyway, I'm not telling you to dribble herbs in your mouth instead of going to the hospital or calling 911 if something happens. If you fall and break your hip, I don't think you can dribble an essential oil on it and it's going to repair itself. But, maybe if you, as part of a healthy lifestyle, maintain your fitness level through chiropractic care and supplementation, you can remain strong and balanced and prevent falls or have stronger bones that are not as brittle. Anyway, I just think it's interesting. So thank you for telling us about Organic Olivia and her potions.
I love it.
I wish
so
she would
much.
do like a witch edition for October.
I know, right? If there's I'll try to find the best podcast of hers. That would be a good intro, and we'll link it below.
Well, as a flippity flop to that, I just have a few cautionary tales, I suppose. Because we just laid the foundation of how she, again, has education and training and a background in this and is a professional and practices and, is creating a supplement with high quality ingredients. And I have looked at her website before, and it just seems like she's very forthcoming and transparent about what she sells and how it's made. On the flip side, we have the turkeys on social media who just make stuff up. And then we also have our dear friends who like to make MLMs out of these things and then take advantage of people in a pyramid scheme. Anyway, I will just say, here's where my qualms come from. Not of Organic Olivia, but in the holistic, naturopathic health world.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever try to sell Young Living, but I made myself like a seller so I could have the cheaper prices, which I realize is such an incentive to growing the base of your pyramid. But then I started realizing that they said that their things were, first press and more concentrated, but they were way more expensive, like 3 times as expensive as your typical essential oil.
Whoa.
Which I found highly suspicious. And then I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. So you have your people, the F Factor. Did you ever hear about that lady?
Mm-mm.
Her thing was all about fiber. And then all these people were taking these F Factor supplements that were really high in fiber, and they were causing a bunch of gastro issues because there was way too much fucking fiber. And Gary D. Young, the founder of Young Living, he is a great example of people being sketchy. So people have big feelings about him, and he's also passed away. So I'm sorry that I'm speaking ill of the dead, but it is a fact. It is a fact that he pleaded guilty to practicing medicine without a license. And the basis of that investigation basically was around the fact that he said he could detect cancer in blood and that he could deliver babies. And he was not licensed or trained to do any of those things. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I had no idea.
And some of the Young Living oils, like if you go into the manual, talk about cancer cures and being able to solve very serious diseases. Mm-hmm. And do I think that, again, essential oils can be helpful? Yes. Do I want my surgeon scrubbing in with thieves before he cuts me open? No.
Wait,
no,
my question is, okay, so just to clarify, the herbal tinctures that I'm talking about can be digested, and that's what they're supposed to be for. But essential oils, typically, you should not ingest them. But I've heard people talk about ingesting them. It's only certain ones and only us in very small doses, but I've always gotten confused with that because it just feels wrong.
There are food grade ones.
Okay.
That you apparently can digest. Okay. There have been numerous class action lawsuits and investigations into Young Living and probably other places, but they're just very prolific of people having too much or doing too much. But again, you have all these armchair physicians, consuming stuff that they maybe shouldn't be or are allergic to or in quantities that aren't appropriate. So again, this just goes back to do your research and don't get sucked into the flashy flashes and find information and learn things. Like, don't just be spoon-fed stuff. I have one other funny story and then I'll leave all of you. One day many moons ago, through a friend, I had dinner with an FDA agent. Oh. So FDA has law enforcement agents. Fun fact, basically every branch of the federal government has somebody who's actually sworn law enforcement, which is really weird. The Beef Boys have them, FDA has them, IRS has them. All these people you wouldn't think definitely have them. The Postal Service, anyway. So FDA has a law enforcement arm, and we were talking to one of them, and like cocktail stories, everybody has them from work. But he said one of his favorite ones was this personal trainer guy who had ordered what he thought was ginseng off of Amazon. Because a big part of what this FDA arm will do is like test the powders and stuff that come in, because most of them are shipped in from China. This guy thought he was ordering ginseng and giving it to clients. And basically the agent ends up going to his house and says, hey, I don't know if he intercepted the package. I think that may have been what it was. They intercepted the package and tested it, and it wasn't what it was marked as. And so they basically were following up as due diligence to tell this dude, hey bro, this isn't ginseng. Turns out it was powdered, I believe, sildenafil, which is the pharmaceutical name for Viagra or Cialis. I can't remember which one. But yeah. It was powdered boner medication. And the agent goes and tells the guy this, and he, you know, the dude's so embarrassed because he's like, oh my God, I thought I was ordering ginseng. I've been giving this to my clients. And he's like, yeah, you're going to need to tell your clients that that's not what that is. And the guy kind of stops and says, you know, this makes a lot of sense because I was taking it before I was working out. And then I was just so horny after the gym with this raging boner.
He didn't put it together, huh? He didn't put two and two together. Holy crap.
So it just goes to show you, like, you just don't know what's in so much stuff. So don't buy supplements on Amazon.
No.
Even the stuff that you can get from Vitamin World and a lot of other major places are very sketchy. Even, I mean, I take protein powder, but protein powders can even be extremely sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
And really gross and stored in disgusting containers and then tested and shown not to have like even a quarter of the
Like active ingredients or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah. So just, it's my favorite cautionary tale to say that there are definitely some quacks. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, and then just you have got to get stuff from reputable people. Like Kayla talked about, Organic Olivia is a great place for herbal tinctures. I believe On It has been shown to be a good place for supplements. And what's the other one that I really like? Legion Athletics. They have great protein with simple ingredients. So just don't. They're gonna cost more. Like the things that are well made are going to cost more, and if you can't afford them, it might be better not to try to take them than to buy
a shitty version.
An unknown powder from Amazon.
Bro.
Because anybody can print something, especially in a foreign country. There's even less regulations.
That's wild.
Yeah. So maybe with your budgeting tool, you can set aside a little bit of money to buy some things from Organic Olivia, and then you can know that they're quality.
I love it so much. Not a sponsor, but we are up for it if you'd like to.
Well, thank you so much for this review and a little wee bit of your story. And until next time, I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. My neck.
Yeah, I need a neck tincture.